Okay, so final challenging example, and this is a really tough question, and it's also in the kind of context of something from physics as well. The reason this example is different is because we've got two fractions that are being added together first. So it says here that the lens formula is 1 over u plus 1 over v equals 1 over f, where u is the object distance, v is the image distance, and f is the focal length. And it first of all wants us to show that u equals vf over v minus f. In other words, it wants us to make u the subject. So we're going to start with 1 over u plus 1 over v equals 1 over f. Now sometimes people think, oh great, I can just take the reciprocal so that I get u plus v equals f. But let me show you why that doesn't work. So if we just think about something like, I don't know, 1 quarter plus 3 quarters, we know that that is just, actually let's do 1 quarter plus 2 quarters. We know that 1 quarter plus 2 quarters is equal to 3 quarters. If I just flip them all over, I would get 4 over 1 plus 4 over 2 equals 4 over 3. But that's 4 plus 2, which clearly doesn't equal 4 over 3. So you can't do this process here of just flipping them over. What you're going to have to do instead is you're going to have to add the fractions on the left-hand side together first. You're going to have to deal with adding these fractions together, which is some algebraic fractions. So the first thing I'm going to do is make them have a common denominator. Now, if you haven't done algebraic fractions, the common denominator, though, is going to be the uv. If you multiply this one by v on the top and bottom, you would get a v over uv. And if you multiply this one by u on the top and bottom, you'd get the denominator as uv, and you would get a u over here. And then we have 1 over f like this. Now we come back to a fractiony kind of question, which is quite similar to some of the things that we were looking at here, where you're going to do that kind of cross multiplying. So to avoid it as being a fraction, I'm going to take this uv and I'm going to send it up here, and I'm going to take that f and send it up there. So I'm just going to kind of go up to this section now. When I put the f up, it's going to be f brackets v plus u. And then 1 multiplied by uv is just uv. Now remember, we're trying to make u the subject, and we've got it in two different places here. So I'm going to expand the brackets, which is fv plus f multiplied by u equals uv. Now I've got u in two places. I'm going to subtract and get it onto one side and leave the other ones on the other side. So fv equals uv minus f multiplied by u, and then I'm going to factorize because I have u in two different places. You can see why this is a very challenging question. If I take a factor of u out, I get v minus f. Finally, I have got u all by itself, so all I need to do now is just do this divided by this, and then we'll see if it's the same as the question. So at fv divided by v minus f equals u. Oh, well, look, they just wrote the same thing, basically. They wrote VF rather than FV. Normally we do alphabetical order, but they went for VF in this question, which is the same thing as U equals VF over V minus F. So luckily they gave us a show that, but you have to show this whole process to show the examiner how you got there. And then the second part of the question says, use this to find the object distance. The object distance is U, so we want to find out what U is equal to when the image distance, which is v, is 5, and the focal length 3 meters, so f is equal to 3. So I'm going to use the formula that u equals vf over v minus f. Now that we've rearranged it, I don't need to use this formula. I can use this one because it will immediately tell me what u is equal to. So I'm just going to substitute those values in. It is v multiplied by f divided by v subtract f. That is 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5 meters. So the answer to the question, the object distance, is 7.5 meters. You can see how you can make these questions way more challenging. I think you'll see that this final challenging example, plus where there are two variables, is a lot harder than when there is just one variable appearing. So I think if you're aiming for grade 8 and grade 9, this is the kind of stuff that you want to make sure that you've really, really understood. Found this video helpful? Then why not drop it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. This is the end of the playlist, but head to my channel's homepage to see what else I might be able to help you with. And as always, wishing you the very best for all your studies.